of the important things about the landmark tutorial is to really ask ourselves what is it looking to achieve. And I think it's a very simple thing, but it's a very lofty ideal, and it's quite simply to find an appropriate voice for Australia so that the world, the global wine environment, recognizes that as well as being a producer of great, affordable, good fun, quaffable wines, that we actually also have quite a history and I think a very strong future around fine wine production. That's a wonderfully kind of liberating thought, that actually we've got a lot of stuff here, a lot of really exciting things going on that the rest of the world just doesn't know about. So from my point of view, that's a fantastic opportunity. Nothing sells Australia like Australia. No one knows more about Australian wines than the people that have made them. So I think the benefit in having people, come to our shore is to really make what would otherwise be an academic exercise. I've used this phrase before, that real sense of discovery. I think being here and doing it in situ, visiting some of the wineries, talking to the winemakers, hearing the stories from the people that actually, put that wine into that bottle or picked that vineyard, or in some cases even planted that vineyard. I think that's what real understanding is about. The Australian wine community, in terms of winemakers and growers, is really up for the challenge. They want to do different things, and the level of engagement we've had has been extraordinary. So we get the Stephen Henschkes, we get the Tim Kirks, we get the Jeffrey Grossets. They are the participants, they are the owners of the landmark tutorial, and that gives it that, something that every brand wants, which is a really authentic and vital voice, and I think that's what it has. There's an imperative for us to tell our regional and fine wine story, because that's where we've got to be. That's where we've got to be making a difference. Australia has a great reputation and an enviable reputation for making everyday great drinks, affordable, quaffable wines. Where we've been less successful in telling our story is really capturing the imagination about what can come from Australia in terms of regional and fine wine. If you look at Wine Australia as a brand, the best way to position any brand is to show the world the very best of what you do. And in the same way that BMW sell millions of 3 Series by talking about the few thousands of 7 Series that they sell, Landmark Australia is about come to Australia and have a look at the 7 Series wines that we produce. That's what it's about. We can clearly see that what it's building is a network of ambassadors or advocates around the world. Really, it's about spreading a word and creating what I call kind of go-to people in market that really have an informed knowledge of what's available from Australia. And if over the course of the next few years we can continue to develop 10, 20 really strong, well-informed, market-leading opinion makers all about Australian fine wine, then we will succeed. We recognized that we needed a revenue stream independent of the wineries themselves, so that we could be above and beyond any call of influence in terms of what was selected. So we're lucky enough to have export partners who are supporting businesses to the wine industry. And these are companies that see and have a vested interest in the general health barometer of the Australian wine community, but see the idea of leading with our very best as a really important vehicle to make Australia aspirational. So it's these visionary and forthright sponsors that on an annual basis provide the sum of money, which is around $250,000 to make this happen, which preserves the independence of the money and the revenue, and preserves the independence of the wine selection process. And the two things need to be very different and very discreet in order for the whole exercise to be credible. This is of the community, by the community, for the community. So there is a role to play, but it's totally uncompromising in what we're asking for. And what we're asking for is we have to lead with the very best that we can do.